August 12, 2019. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Ms. Paris? Here. Mr. Wilcher?
Here.
Mr. Fortier?
Here.
Mr. Crockett? He is absent. And Ms. Carbano? Here. Thank you.
Okay, do we have approval of the minutes as presented? Need a motion.
Make a motion.
So moved. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Announcements? None, right? Yeah. Old business, none. New business?
Good evening. I'm Wayne Esseltine, building official, City of Sebastian. Our first agenda item is in the matter of Mr. Owen Young. He has a carpentry license, local license number 1680. Mr. Young is seeking board approval to reinstate his license that expired on 9/30/2004 without having to reapply and retake the exam. The applicable code section from the City Code of Ordinances is Section 26-168C, which states a certificate which is inoperative because of failure to renew shall be restored on payment of the proper renewal fee. It goes on to say if the application for restoration is not made before the beginning of the new fiscal year of the city, the fee for restoration shall be double the original fee, and in addition, the board may require re-examination of the applicant. A certificate which is not renewed within 3 full years after expiration may not be renewed, restored, or reinstated, therefore except by reapplication and reexamination. So that's what the code says. We've had cases like this, as you know, quite a few times before the board where people have failed to renew their registration, and we have kind of left that up to the board to decide whether they want to require those people to go for re-examination or whether they have fulfilled an obligation to restore their license. We have 3 cases like this tonight. They're all identical type cases for restoration of licenses that are expired.
Discussion.
Well, this section 26-168C, it says if it goes over 3 years, they have to re-examine.
Right, but I do believe we have the autonomy to override that. I think that's what he's saying.
Okay.
So we're just determining whether or not he needs to pay the fines up to date for.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we need to look at, if it was me, I think this one's different than the other two. This one, and I obviously want to hear from the people that are here for this, but I think this one's different. In Wayne, talk to me about the scope. What is that license? What's the scope of that license?
For the carpentry license?
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
Essentially that, it's carpentry, formwork, framework, trusses, that type of thing. It's generally a carpenter's license, whatever a carpenter could do.
The problem with it is
It is a specialty license. It's not like a GC.
It's a specialty license, but I think my concern here would be
framers and that type of thing.
Yeah, but my concern here would be that the codes have changed since then. And you got, are they required, with that specialty license, are they required to do any continuing education?
No, these are local licenses, they're not state licenses.
but in the same respect, with him being without a license for 15 years.
Right.
since I was a building inspector at one time, okay, there is a lot of things that change in the framing of a house or anything like that. And if you don't have the training for it, are we turning somebody loose that doesn't have enough training to be out there doing it?
I could ask board members, make sure your mic is on, and make sure you're speaking into the mic, because out here, really hard to hear you.
I think anyone that's here for that, for this case, Mr. Owen Young, should speak at this point, because I think we need to hear from them, kind of get the background of what their history is. Because if this is somebody that's been doing this forever, then that lapse in time is not going to be germane, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I believe everyone's here that you want to speak to each applicant.
Well, in this particular case with Owen Young, is there anybody here to speak on behalf?
Owen Young? Yeah, he's right here.
Good evening.
Hey. Tell us about yourself. How long have you been doing it? I mean,
Well, I heard what you were saying.
Yeah.
When I kind of gave it up, let me just start with that. Excuse me. I didn't know my numbers, and I was really struggling to probably being taken advantage of by other contractors, et cetera. So I kind of just, let it go. And I have been in the field since then, pretty continuously, doing carpentry work for other people and et cetera, So it's not that I don't know. And in fact, Vero allowed me to continue with my license. I just had to
Yeah, I see that.
pay up. So I've been doing work and passing inspections, et cetera, with roof trusses, framing, trim, all those things.
And I could take it you can read a truss detail?
I'm sorry? Yes. Oh, yeah. Layout and et cetera. Yeah, layout and engineering.
Okay.
talks about that you work for Beachland Millworks. That's cabinets, right?
Correct. They were a manufacturing company.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of cabinet building.
Okay.
Owen, what was this last inactive contractor permit pulled?
I'm sorry?
The last 2010 inactive contractor, you had a permit pulled. Can you explain that? With Massimo?
I'm sorry.
9/21/2010. Is this on?
You have to push the
Green light.
It's
If the green light's on, you're good.
Can you hear me?
I'm sorry, it's just certain tones.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 2010 inactive contractor permit pulled. I'm not understanding what
I
that
have
means.
no idea what that might be. I don't believe I've pulled any permits.
3?
Of his,
On the
of
permits?
his.
Yes, on Owen's. He's pulled a lot of contracting permits for painting, in the past up to 2010. But the last one says inactive contractor.
That's a different one.
I don't think that's the same person.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
This is Mr. Young.
This is,
Oh,
this is
okay,
Owen
this
Young.
is Mr. Owen Young. It is Owen Young.
So, and it's been, how many years since?
Actually, I thought it was 2006, but apparently the record's
It's
2004.
been further back than there. So you've been working at Beachland Millworks doing cabinets and stuff, but you feel like you're ready to go ahead and start working trusses and?
Well, I've also been up, not locally, but I went and framed my mother's house in Nova Scotia, framed my brother's house in Maine. And I just completed a project in Vero, or it's almost complete. They're still finishing it up, but with the trusses and an addition.
So you're fully licensed in Vero then?
Correct.
It's Sebastian that you're trying to move out?
Yeah, you guys were my qualifier.
Okay.
You have been working for McCracken Construction, right, since 2016?
Correct.
Is that a constant thing or just
That's a constant thing. It's my own business.
Okay, all right.
Well, here's my thing. So do I have an issue with the fact that it's lapsed that long and not having to retake attest, no, but I do have an issue where, because I do think that he's been still in the business, so I think it's fine with that. But I do have an issue with that people have been paying the yearly fees and he hasn't. So, to me, I think that he should pay whatever's retro, and it's right here. At 14 years, it's $75, and then the current year is $60. Total of $1,110.
That'll work.
That's in arrears, not the double amount.
Well, that's what he would have to pay.
Oh.
You don't double it, but that's what he would have to pay.
Well, he's willing to do that.
If he's willing to do that, I mean, I think that from what he's been doing, he's probably still just as tuned into
Yeah, he's been
construction as he has
active
been.
in the industry.
So I would need somebody to make a motion on that. And the motion would be that we would approve that he does not have to
Take the exam.
re-examine, but he must take care of all the rears, which would be $1,110, and I need somebody to make that motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There's a second.
Aye.
Who's the second?
Aye.
He was
made the
the
motion.
second. He's the second.
Okay,
She made the motion.
I didn't
He's the
hear, I'm
second.
sorry.
That's all right.
Tap, tap,
And
check,
it's
check.
unanimous all across the board.
Yeah.
All right.
That's good? All right,
Understand?
I appreciate that, thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, you come in tomorrow.
Wayne.
Okay, Wayne?
Next person on the agenda for the same type of thing is Mr. Saeed Smitty, and he has an aluminum license. The local license number is 1353, and he's seeking the board approval to reinstate his license that expired in 9/30/2007 without having to reapply and retake the exam.
Wayne, if you could, just, what does that license allow you to do?
Aluminum?
Yeah, the specialty license, what is that for aluminum? What does it allow you
So
to do?
it'd be like screen enclosures mostly, could be, enclosed back porches, that type of thing.
So it's just all screen enclosures, that's it?
Mostly aluminum.
You can't subcontract for a roofing contractor for aluminum, no?
Sorry?
You can't subcontract for any other,
No.
okay.
But as the gentleman stated, hurricane protection would probably be included in that. Soffits, if it was aluminum soffit, that type of thing.
And then, once again, there's no continuing ed, there's no,
Not on these local licenses, that's only a state license requirement.
I would recommend that we hear from Mr. Saeed. Good to see you.
Yeah, I've been doing this since '89, and I guess with the recession, the last recession, I couldn't keep up with things, and some other personal stuff come up in my life too. I couldn't really keep up, and I've been working for other contractors in the same field, and I've been building these things for all my life here in Florida, and just I couldn't keep up though. The economy really took the best of me though in the past. It's similar to this gentleman just left, so.
Do you do other things besides screening?
Yeah, hurricane protection, gutter, soffit, siding. In fact, when the recession hit, I went throughout the United States, did the commercial sites to keep up with bills and stuff like that. And then I got, when it started getting better a little bit, 2010, I think it was, or 2011, J&B hired me, and I was building pole enclosures and doing all various things.
Excuse me, Wayne.
Yes.
On these type licenses, they can go onto inactive, correct, for $10 a year?
They can.
Okay, thank you.
A lot of them just seem to not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know, though. I was just trying to make it, you know, where I can do my own thing.
Wayne, question. This gentleman, is there anything outstanding with the Sebastian Building Department as far as monetary?
Best of my knowledge, no.
No?
And I'd like to clarify, going through this, looks like he had one of the aluminum unlimited licenses back at that time, which allowed them to do concrete as well.
We're kind of in the same situation. I mean, we've got, you know, the rears of $885.
Yeah, I'm willing to pay whatever has to be done.
Does the city of Vero Beach have any issue with back in '09 where you had return checks and
No.
working without a license?
I'm active there now. I got a reciprocity letter from you guys, and I took down there, they accept me.
I'm sorry, but I didn't want you to get confused. If you're looking at that page where there was something about return checks, that's the one, that's the next person down. This is just a copy of what's out of our.
I didn't have any issues
So it has his
financial.
name on it
He's
as the
just the
qualifier.
Yeah, it does.
No, the
It has
next
his
one
name
down.
as the qualifier.
Treasure Coast Shutters.
I qualified this gentleman, Joe Shapiro.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
I was under his.
And as the qualifier, you're overall responsible. So that's how we got to that point right there. But
Do you want to elaborate on those return checks and tell us anything about that?
I'm not sure though with Joe Shapiro. I think everything has been resolved in Indian River County. Or else they wouldn't give me the permission to do the work there.
So you were working under another contractor?
Right now I'm employed
No, I
by
mean,
this.
when this was going on?
I was his agent.
Okay.
qualifier.
All right,
He was the
Qualifier.
qualifier,
all right.
which
I don't have a problem with this.
I don't either. We need some, does anybody have any discussion?
Are there any conditions to the repayment? Does it have to be done at once?
Well, he can't be reinstated until it's paid in full.
Okay.
I would, right, Wayne?
Correct.
Yeah, we're not gonna, it's not gonna be a payment plan. It would have to be paid in full.
Yeah.
Paid in full.
And then
Then
if
it's
we
automatic.
vote, then it would be reinstatement. So what we have right here is we've got 11 years of $75, current year at $60, total of $885. If we're all okay with that, then somebody would need to make the motion to go ahead and do it and second it, and we can vote.
It's got a long history. I'll make a motion. I think he should continue to work.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Congratulations. Oops.
Let the record note that Ms. Corbano said no.
I'm sorry. What?
Ms. Cabana said no.
But it's no for me?
No, it's passed.
Oh, it passed?
It's 3 again, yeah.
Okay.
Majority rules.
Oh, so I can come by tomorrow?
Yeah, you have to pay the 800 and I think it was $85.
Awesome. Oh, thank you
And then you're
guys.
reinstated.
You're
Appreciate you
welcome.
all.
Do your due diligence.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, man.
I gotta work in the day, but after Thank you, guys. Good night, all.
Take care.
Aye.
Good to see you.
Third case on tonight's agenda is in the matter of Mr. Christopher Massimo. He has a painting license, local license number 1588, and Mr. Massimo is seeking board approval to reinstate his license that expired on 9/30/2011 without having to reapply and retake the exam.
sir.
Good evening.
How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good to see you.
Too.
So, well, we read this. I mean, to me, to the board, I mean, to me, if once you started to paint, you kind of understand painting, you understand the business and everything. To me, I think that it just needs to be fair, just like the other ones.
Yeah.
Where you pay the rears, because it's not fair for the other painting contractors to be paying that annual fee, and that he didn't. I think somebody should, does somebody want to make the motion of the $585? That'd be 7 years, $75. Current year at $60, total of $585.
And you being in construction, you're considering their line of expertise so long that the exam isn't a big deal, and it's just a matter of payment. He's been working diligently, and, because I've not been in construction anymore.
Well, I've got tremendous amount of construction experience, and I would say that everybody that I've seen here knows what they're doing for what they're doing. I don't have any issues there.
Yeah.
To me, it's more of, I don't think it's fair that the other painting contractors had to pay and they didn't, and then just to slip in. And to me, that's what it all boils down to.
Yeah, that's...
For me, but
I'm still back to this inactive contractor. Could you tell me what that was in 2010?
Why it was inactive?
Yeah.
I think you paid for it.
Well, I lost my biggest contracts back then. The economy was bad. I had a heart attack.
Yeah, I really
I
sympathize for
started
your
traveling up to New
health
Jersey to
concerns.
work with my brother, who's a painting contractor, my son and I. He came back, and we wanted to do this again.
2010.
going inactive doesn't, I mean, I have 9 state licenses and 3 of them are inactive, which means that it just means that I'm not really using them at this point, but I'm still doing the continuing ed, I'm still paying the stuff, and
exactly.
So the inactive
Just
is
like my real
fine.
estate license becomes inactive.
He paid $10 for it. So
Right.
maybe
Right.
he'd give them $10 to make his license inactive during that time.
Yeah, you have to pay even though you're inactive, but it's not that much.
Right.
There's different rules for that.
Similar to real estate. If I'm inactive in real estate, I pay, but I just don't perform the same services.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, I don't actually do construction. I'm just more of a consultant, but I do have 3 that are inactive. So I don't have an issue with that. Like I said, when we started, mine is more of, it's not fair that everybody else paid and they don't. So I would need somebody to make a motion on that. 7 years, $75, $525, current year, $60, total of $585 to be paid to the Sebastian Building Department to reinstate his license.
Make a motion.
I'll second it. My sympathies for your health
Call the vote.
issues.
Aye.
Aye.
That's it. Well, when you second and all that, it's fine.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
It's unanimous on that one. Yeah, we were all unanimous on that one. Building official matters?
Yes, I just want to take this opportunity to announce that the building department... Sorry, my mic wasn't on. Taking the opportunity to announce that the building department has launched our new building department program, My Government Online. We began it on June 24th this year. We, long time putting this together. This is a very good system. You're able to go out and pretty much do everything online, and including very soon we'll be able to apply online on some of the smaller permits. We're going to work our way up to the larger permits eventually, but it's a pretty good system as far as being able to apply for a permit, and then when it gets reviewed and anything that happens to that permit, you get email notifications. As soon as you sign up on the customer portal, you create an account where you get email notifications of anything that happens with your permit. We're able to email you our comments, email you the permit itself with the backup documents. The same thing with inspections. When inspections are done, you get notification right away. It's real time. So we're really excited about it. On our websites, cityofsebastian.org, under online permits, you'll see an explanation there about My Government Online and how to navigate and set up an account. One really neat thing about them too is they have an ongoing customer service. And those folks are really good, so if you have an issue with the system at all, you better just to call them directly than to call us. And we have that information out on our website as well. And they can walk through anybody through just about anything on that site. So it's been pretty good, and just want to make sure got the word out there that we have this new system. My Government Online.
Is that anything like the portal thing that Vero Beach has, where you can see all their stuff?
It's similar. It's similar. I'm not sure exactly. I know what the county was using,
Right.
And I think they may be looking elsewhere and possibly go in this same direction. I don't want to speak for them, but yeah, it's a very similar situation where you can go out to the portal and do just about everything.
So a question, so if you could do that, is the hope that staff reductions?
No, I mean,
efficiencies?
that's not the goal.
No?
Believe me, we
What's the
have a
goal?
lot of work to do. It's mainly, it's for the customer. I mean, especially, one of the first things we want to get out there is like AC permits as an example. If you look at our permit trends, the majority of permits of the traffic and activity is AC permits. And if those contractors can stay in their office and apply online and upload a document or two, and then we get it, we review it, and we send it back to them, they never have to leave their office. They can pay online.
Okay.
And so, that's the goal, is to kind of reduce the amount of trips to the city and just to make it a little more customer friendly. And
Which is huge, because you got to think of the whole thing. So now that reduces emissions into the air from trucks. No, seriously, you got to look at the whole thing.
Right.
The labor, the whole thing.
Well,
It
the
works its
paper.
way down. It's awesome.
well, the fact that once it's electronic, that means we don't have to scan it at the end. Like right
Then you
now,
got it. Yeah.
we're scanning everything.
Yeah.
But it's coming in as we do it now. We're scanning it kind of on the fly as things come in. It gets scanned, and we're done with it. It doesn't have
That's
to.
great.
No.
Yeah.
Now, if I wanted to look for a specialty contractor, are the contractor certifications on there? The list of the contractors?
I believe so.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
I know our
'Cause
contract.
the other day I had to go online and help a friend of mine in St. Lucie County.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Really?
I called the county for her because she's in her 80s and was having a problem. I called the county for her. They told me where to look for a concrete contractor. Just go into here, put in this or put in that, and you could get all the contractor licensing. I thought that was
Right.
wonderful.
Right.
Wonderful.
Well, it's new to us, and there's a lot of things we probably aren't even aware of that are little tricks out there. But we definitely imported all our contractor database into the system. So, we're eventually going to have all of our old permitting information also brought in. But we didn't do that initially because it's probably not going to be a clean, transfer of data, but we're going to try to, do what we can to bring all that data into there so you could research everything from one location. So we're kind of working with two systems right now until we kind of outgrow, one, and then we'll be totally in the other. But it's been working good. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback. People are, amazed. They're getting email notifications every time their permit's being looked at or whatever's happening with their permit. They know it's in the process. We generate comment letters and just email it to them, and click of a button. So it's pretty good.
Does that go for
Get the
commercial
word
too?
out there.
Does that
Sorry?
go for commercial too?
Is it for commercial too?
Commercial,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, everything.
I do have a question that's not germane to what you were talking about whenever you're ready. I'm curious on, because are you now the fire marshal? Because you talked about we hired an outside company. There was a 1-year transition, and then you were going to take over.
The city has established the fire marshal's office. I am designated as the fire marshal for the city.
And you now are.
Yes.
How was the transition? How'd it go?
It's been good.
Good?
It's been good. Yep, and we do have a third-party team we use when we need them. Safe Built comes in, and some of the larger projects especially, we have them come in and review plans with us, do inspections with us, 2 sets of eyes, making sure everything is being done right. So, but no, it's been good, and I think it's on the county agenda tomorrow for the interlocal agreement to be finalized, hopefully through the county commission.
Do you like it?
Sure. It's great.
Any more money? Never mind, you don't have to answer that.
5 o'clock meeting tomorrow? There's a 5 o'clock and a 6 o'clock, it's so confusing.
The county meeting? The county meeting's during the day tomorrow, yeah.
Go ahead.
Bono, I'm curious as to what you noticed, what you didn't like about that.
I didn't like the fact that gentlemen had blind eyes about everything that went on with those pulling permits and that not being, their company that he was a qualifier for, but he like blinded himself, that's why. That's, otherwise, but when you look at the license and there was so much, the checks and then the thing, so it's just my opinion.
And I was just wondering whether it had anything to do with trying to stay alive in 2008.
Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest, I didn't like it either, but to me, I mean, everybody deserves a second chance. I mean, I felt like, and if he does it again, then he has a history. But it was one shot there.
There was a whole list of things on there that he.
It was all one thing, though.
History,
It was all one.
but it was several different years. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I wanted to know too.
I mean,
I'm sure that, well, let's just say we all have opinions. That was my opinion.
absolutely.
My son was a contractor during that. He used to do the building sites all down on the A1A. He was a track hoe operator. But he ended up having to sell his machine. So I know what people went through. It's not that I'm being I don't know what the word is. I'm not being against this man. It was just my opinion.
You're opining, and everybody on the board has a right to opine. You're opining.
I was actually on the fence. I wasn't sure what to say. But I have this compassion for people with second chances, but this really did red flag me.
Yeah, it jumped out.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, I wanted to see the individual and hear them, what they were saying. First off, they showed up. You see a lot of these people, they don't show up, or
Really?
they send a girlfriend, a wife, or something.
Isn't it like court, show you lose? I mean.
They send somebody. They send a surrogate. So the fact that they showed up means that they want it. We've all done things that we don't like. I felt the guy.
He's got a point, though, of many things. I mean, for many years.
What I was hoping was when I brought it up, that he would get that in his head that he better not go bouncing any more checks.
I mean, what could we have done? We could have said no, and then he would have had to what? Retake the test down in Fort Pierce or something?
Yeah.
Because we don't do it anymore?
Yes. I mean, and that's the nature of having a board, so that there's discussion, there's different opinions. Ultimately, it's put to a vote. So there's no bad opinions about this whole process. It's a matter, I mean, I think Gene makes some valid points about, because that concerned me, and I'll be honest, when I first looked at that, I didn't notice that he had qualified both of those companies. And when I started reading that information, I was like, it was a little concerning for me. And then, obviously, a lot of that was done when Karen Park was here, and we had more staff, and we were able to keep on top of these things. She had a lot of notes in there, and that was good. But I don't know as though it probably wasn't his doing. Although he was a qualifier, he should have been knowing what's going on.
Right. He was overall responsible. Wayne, let me ask you this, and like I said, it's just us talking here. If you were sitting up here, how would you have voted on that one?
Well, I'm not sitting up there. I'm not sitting up there.
You would have voted
that's-
yes. You would have voted yes.
I probably would have.
Yes, you would have.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's about.
Does this mean that every time I vote no, I'm going to get criticized?
Absolutely not. We're not criticizing you. You have a
If
vote.
anything, I think that's a healthy discussion. And I think-
Absolutely. It brings in
and I think,
discussion. That's the whole point. That's what we're
I think
talking
Jean
about.
makes a very valid point, and I
She's got like 4
I don't
valid points
know.
there.
I don't know, I think that what she says, that's why I was hesitant to say yes or no. I don't know what I would do. I'm not sitting in your shoes, but that bothers me too, when people are qualifying other companies and not paying attention. Somebody's getting hurt on the other end,
Yeah.
What happens if
They
it's
got
a
open
tie?
permits on their properties or something that's gonna come back to bite them.
If it's a tie and you say no,
Yeah.
then I think it's no.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what happens?
I'm
then?
pretty sure if it's 2, isn't it? If it's 2-2
If I said
here, then it's
two
no,
ladies
right?
up here say no, and the guy said yes.
I think it's no.
I believe, yeah, it has to be approved.
You have to
It has
have a majority. I'm pretty sure it's
Supposed to
no.
have a
yes.
quorum.
Yes.
Well, we have a quorum already by
No, we
having
don't.
the people.
Yeah, but if
Yes,
you-
we have a
No, we
quorum.
don't.
If it doesn't pass with a
We
majority
couldn't
vote,
have a
then I don't
meeting
think it
without
gets
a
approved.
quorum. We have a quorum. But it's about, if you don't have a majority on the vote, then it's a no, no matter what.
True.
That's how it is. So we digress. I mean, they came here, they showed up. We've come here so many times, and the people don't even show up. They send somebody else, they send a surrogate to come up in front of us and give a little tear and this and that, but they all showed up, so that tells me that they really want it. I mean, maybe they're trying to change around a little bit. I mean, everybody needs a second shot at stuff, and then we're not here to put shackles on people. I hope so. And I like what he said. I mean, I think he got the point from what you said. So, I mean, I think that's the best we can do. I mean, the test is what? How many questions is it down in Fort Pitt? What is it? 40? It's nothing.
Don't know.
Yeah, it's not, it wasn't a big obstacle. I think we were trying to get across to the gentleman of how to do this. I think we have to be constructive, in my opinion, but we act as a board. That's what we do. Okay, so moving on. Attorney matters, there are none. 15 minutes to the public. Nope. Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Good meeting.